Okay. How is everyone? How is everyone? Good question. This part of the night is annoying and crazy because you don't know if someone's gonna call. You don't know if anyone's gonna call you. Every night. 55 fries. Wait a second. My computer audio is coming out the wrong way. That's annoying. Okay. Work. That should work now. It's coming out the wrong audio for that too. What? What's going
on? With world
on?
leaders gathering for the papal funeral at the Vatican, a peace summit of sorts for President Trump and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelenskyy. The two leaders face to face, seated inches apart inside St. Peter's Basilica for a 15-minute one-on-one about Ukraine's war with Russia. The White House calling it a very productive discussion. Zelenskyy later saying,
"Productive meeting. I don't want to go to a lot of details."
And on social media, laying out his priorities from that meeting: protecting lives of our people, full and unconditional ceasefire, and reliable and lasting peace, adding that the meeting has the potential to become historic.
No position can dictate.
A far cry from their last historic meeting in the Oval Office back.
The next pope? I don't know. The Trump admin's being smacked in the face with the reality right now, which is kind of nice to see, but it's also really dangerous still. So
in February,
I know the Pope definitely has been able to add people who would agree with his philosophy a decent amount. But I'm not sure how the whole process works. I'm not sure who's next in line. If they continue following the global trends, then I'm not really sure where it's gonna go. It'll be really damaging if it's a radical right winger, anti-immigrant person though. It needs to be someone pro-freedom and pro-immigration and pro-actual Jesus, or it's not going to go a good direction. Truly. Vibe and chillin'. That is true. Vibe and chillin' is all that matters. The whole conversation, there's so many cults forming in terms of religion. The rise of American fascism happening right now with Project 2025 and Trump being the steward of it. It's been really interesting to see it unfold. I think the biggest story that we don't pay attention to is probably the impact of school boards going far right and like local governments that people don't really pay attention to that much. Banning pronouns, banning books, defunding schools. You know, it's been really bad. Not only defunding schools, but draining the funds for schools. So there's been a lot of issues here. Happening recently. Pearl. Man. Joe Biden. Joe Biden's awesome. Holy crap.
To him, but the people.
Oh man, what's going on? How's everyone doing? What's even the main thing people talk about for political content nowadays? Everything's so painful.
Let your patriotic values guide how you invest your money and save for your future. With Monorail's Patriot Portfolio, your investment dollars get out of...
Patriot Portfolio, dude. Holy crap.
Hello?
Hi, this is the YouTube Jolah guy. What's up?
Oh, hey, are you live?
Yep, I'm live.
Okay, well, I called, but it just didn't go through.
Oh, yeah, I had it on Do Not Disturb, but I saw your call, so I called you back.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up? We could chat about whatever.
Well, I just think it's deliciously priceless that I'm getting preached DEI by one of the whitest guys on YouTube. Why don't you have a minority, a black trans lesbian as a co-host instead of you taking a job that a minority could be doing? Why don't you practice what you preach?
Funny enough, I actually benefit from DEI. I did benefit from DEI. I'm from a really poor rural area, and that helped me get into college, being from a poor rural area, because there are a lot of grants from DEI programs going to white people, if you did not know that.
Since when is DEI a monetary qualification?
So it's not just monetary, it's not just race or gender or religion or anything. So DEI, they try to make equal opportunity employment or equal opportunity admissions to colleges. DEI is not the same as quotas or affirmative action. So like when they say DEI is only about black people getting jobs they don't deserve, DEI in general, I think like 10% is race-based. A lot of it's focused on vets, for example. So DEI, whatever the right-wing media told you, is not even what DEI covers.
No, it's not. The veterans has never fallen under DEI. Come on, man. Where are you getting that from? MSLSD?
So it does go into DEI programs. Is making sure you.
It does not.
So,
I have veterans throughout my entire family, and I can guarantee you, no benefits have they ever gotten because they qualified as DEI. That's a lie.
But you don't know what DEI means. That's the issue here. We're kind of going past each other.
You do. I don't think you do either. I
could explain it to you.
I think it's comical that you guys want to you said that you qualified as DEI. How about qualifying because of your merit? Because of the talent that you have?
Yeah, I did. Okay, so but do you know what DEI is? Could you explain like what it seeks to accomplish?
It seeks to take away from it seeks to eliminate merit in the guise of trying to level an uneven playing field that is not uneven.
So DEI is about removing barriers mostly so that it makes it a more even playing field.
According to you, the definition of DEI is going to be what you've been spoon-fed by fake news, and you're going to regurgitate whatever they tell you. It's the same concept as climate change. First, it was global warming. Then when proof came out that the planet is not, the temperature is not increasing the way that you guys said, well, let's just call it climate change so that you can cover every single thing that can ever affect the weather. So
okay,
now you've blanketed. So now,
hey, buddy, if you're scared to hear a response, if you're scared to hear other opinions other than what you believe already, because you're a sheep, then you could keep talking. But I could tell you my opinion too if you want to have a conversation.
I can say the same about you.
I was quiet for a second. If you're gonna act like a toddler and not talk to me like an adult, then I can move on to someone else. But you could let me speak too. Can you shut up? Do you have any self-control? Do you have discipline or self-control? Do you have discipline or self-control? Do you have discipline or that's not name calls? I'm asking you value statements. Do you have discipline or self-control?
You just called me a toddler.
Brother, do you have discipline or self-control?
I'm asking you.
Do you have discipline or self-control? Do you want to have a conversation or not? Discipline or self-control? Can you show any? Can you show discipline or self-control? Can you show discipline or self-control? Or are you going to run from it still? Show discipline or self-control.
Can you do it?
Do you have discipline or self-control? I'll talk to you right now. Can you stop talking over me? I can explain it to you, but you just want to believe dumb shit. Do you want me to talk or not?
You're yelling and you're cursing.
Now yelling offends you. Now yelling offends you. Can you shut up for 2 seconds and let me talk to you?
Wow.
Or do you just want to ramble?
Wow.
Do you want to live in echo chamber?
You're showing your maturity.
Let me explain to you what it means. You want to know what it means? Can I explain how I'm a DEI hire?
Intelligently and maturely with facts.
Yeah.
and without name calling and shouting and cursing, because
Are you
that's
gonna
all
cry?
y'all do whenever
Can you
your
stop
argument
crying,
falls
bro? Do you
apart.
realize you're crying right now? I want to talk to you, have an adult conversation. You're crying to
I'm
me.
crying.
You are crying. Stop complaining. Let me talk for 1 second.
Like,
Okay, so
this is
DEI,
funny.
when we talk about, like, for example, class or race or gender, all it says is if you're hiring from one demographic, so all white people, all black people, veterans, not veterans, you might want to look into every single demographic, every single community, every single type of person to make sure you're giving your job applications out to everyone, to make sure you're picking from every community equally to get the best candidates from every community. That's all it does. So yes, veterans are a large part. Veterans are a huge freaking part of DEI programs to make sure we have more diverse viewpoints in the workplace. That includes vets. It includes rural communities. It includes poor white people. It includes black people. It includes every gender, every race, every single thing you could think of. DEI would seek to pull people from those communities to get the best from every community. It's not affirmative action. It's not the opposite of merit. This is a very base thing that we've done since the civil rights movement. It's basic civil rights era equal opportunity employment. That's what DEI actually means, which is why right now they got rid of DEI in the Defense Department, and now we have Pete Hegseth, who's spending our military dollars building makeup departments. He's a pretty boy, powdered face, proud boy Pete, building makeup departments in the Pentagon. Now we have Pete Hegseth, who doesn't know how to do one thing as a leader. Because now we have unqualified leaders now.
What you just said was proven to be a lie.
He has makeup departments in the Pentagon. That is 100% true. I'm sorry you don't want to believe that you have the proud boy, pretty face, powdered boy Pete on there. But he did have a makeup department in the Pentagon.
They remodeled an existing
Can you talk about DEI? Why are you running away from DEI right now? Respond to my points. Respond to my points.
I'm responding to the lie that you just put out. The Defense Department renovated an existing room with existing furniture. There is no makeup room. That is a lie. There was.
You know, it's really cute. You're defending a makeup department in the Pentagon because it's on your side. If a Democrat did that, you'd be calling them trans lovers or whatever. Oh, yeah. They just renovated an already existing room. Okay, you're right. They put makeup into an already existing room. You're right.
There's no makeup in the room.
Oh, you're mad. You're mad. You're mad. Republicans care more about wearing makeup than they do protecting our troops. You're mad about that.
Up, and it is a lie. It is a proven lie.
You just admit they renovated the makeup department.
I didn't say that. I said they renovated an existing.
Hey, I'm just saying. I understand why Pete Hegseth. I understand.
Makeup.
I understand why Pete Hegseth. I understand why Pete Hegseth got rid of trans members in the military because he had to make room for himself. So it makes sense why he wants to get gay people out of the military and trans people out of the military. Because Pete Hegseth needs his own makeup department. If the gays steal it, Pete Hegseth isn't going to look as pretty. I understand it now.
You have to
I understand
make
it now.
up out of whole cloth stories that
I understand it now.
are provably untrue.
You just admit it's true. You just admit it's true.
Because you saw it on some far left Huffington Post, probably.
Why are we funding Pete Hegseth's thirst trap campaigns?
It's not true. It is provably false.
Okay, I'm happy I'm happy you want to see the shirtless pictures of Pete Hegseth. I'm okay with that. But about DEI, can you respond to my points?
When are you going to bring a co-host who encompasses and checks off all of your DEI boxes instead of having you solo, a white guy, taking over this role, which is unfair? You're taking a job or you're taking a live stream from a minority that could check off more boxes than you.
Do you know how sad it is that I'll make points to you and you're too dumb to understand what I'm saying, so you need to go off on the same tangent again?
Now
I literally just explained what. Stop crying. If you want to cry, go somewhere else. This is not a liberal podcast. Your woke tears don't offend me. Okay, so can we please? I made points about what DEI actually is. If you want to go back into the oppression Olympics, we can. Okay, but I'd rather talk about what DEI actually is. In the 1960s, I know you hate Martin Luther King Jr. and the shit he fought for, but I care about that still.
Why do you say what I hate when you have absolutely no idea of who I am?
Because the way you're talking right now, I know you're a dumbass. I know you are ignorant. I know you don't give a shit about facts. Yeah, I know that. Because you're not listening to one word I'm saying. I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm responding to it. You can't respond to what I said. Can you respond to what I actually said?
You had no argument.
Respond to what I actually said. Respond to what I actually said about DEI. About veterans, for example. Do you think veterans aren't DEI at all?
No, they are
okay,
not.
Then you're a dumbass. You gotta go do some Google searches. Google our veterans and DEI programs. And by the way, we have technology now. There's no excuse to be stupid. There's no excuse to not do the work. Look up our veterans DEI right now. Google our veterans DEI. I'll do it for the. I'll do it on stream for you. Our veterans here. Our veterans included.
I will go with your line of reasoning, and because you do believe they are, I believe you are a dumbass. How's that? That That is not an argument.
Let's see. What percent of DEI is veterans? Let's see. Let's see.
You are a very unprofessional, unethical.
Oh no, I'm unprofessional. You're a Trump supporter, brother. You can't say shit about that. Okay, so let's see.
You have no idea who I voted for. You have no idea what I like or what I support. But you automatically assume these things because in your head.
Okay, so right now, for the federal, are you okay? You're still crying. I'm looking up facts right now. You're still crying. Okay, so right now we had disabled vets. By the way, okay, so disabled vets were fired. Trump fired disabled vets. Okay, the actual Doge documents, the Doge budget, Elon Musk Doge document. They fired a ton of disabled vets who were DEI hires. Okay, because we look into other communities other than just the dominant ones.
What are
the Doge? Look up the Doge website. Look up the Doge website. The cuts they made.
You are not on a Doge website.
Yeah, I am. I'm on the doggy website right now, bro. Doge.
How do I know that?
Did you have Google too? I'm sorry you live in the Stone Age.
That you're
no,
on
I'm not going to prove you wrong when you can just do Google search right now.
Now you can't prove it. Now you can't prove it.
Yeah, I can't force you to Google something. Yeah, because you don't want to look up. You don't want to look up the information. You don't want to look it up. I'm not going to hold your hand, baby.
That you're.
I'm not going to hold your hand.
Put it on your chat. Put the link of where you are looking at this.
I'm not going to hold your hand.
Put it.
Look up DEI cuts. Look up the veteran DEI cuts.
If you can't put the link on it on your live chat.
Give me a link. Give me a link.
You have no argument, and it is just.
Let's see, Apple's DEI program for hires. Yeah, okay. So if you don't want to talk about, you think DEI is just finding someone who has the most. So you think, like, for example, a trans, black, Muslim, queer, whatever. You think that person is going to be hired before someone else just because of their identity characteristics, which is
I think you believe that.
False. No, I don't believe that because I know what DEI actually is. I know what the actual civil rights legislation was that aimed to provide a chance for this.
Why don't you put your belief in this program into action?
I don't believe in a program. I believe in not using the government to restrict freedom from corporations or companies or whatever else, to restrict freedom to talk about things like diversity. Right now, you can't even say the word diversity because the government wants to thought police people.
You know, you are like Sanders and AOC.
So okay, you think about politics through a podcast lens. No, because you think about politics like a child, like a 2-year-old. Go do some shit in real life. You have no experience in this shit in real life. You need to do some. Okay, you're a crier. I'll talk to someone else who's not gonna cry the entire time. Okay, someone else call in. I can't. If you're gonna cry this entire, like, the whole time you call in and talk over me the entire time, don't call in, or don't expect it. Don't expect a cakewalk. Okay, when I ask you for some type of response to my actual questions, if you're gonna go on a bunch of bullshit, talk about the actual points I'm making. Respond to me. I know your brain is trained to only talk on social media. Okay, call lines open again. Please drop a like on the stream. Drop a like on the stream. Hit subscribe. Drop likes. Please drop likes for the algorithm. Drop likes, please. Thank you for watching.
Call from.
Whoa. Cut it off.
To accept.
Hello.
Hi. I was scrolling through YouTube and I came across your live stream and I saw that last person speaking and lost a few brain cells. Otherwise, I guess I just had a few questions because you seem to be relatively well informed. If that would be okay.
Sure thing. Thank you. Yeah, I have fun with people like that. If they're gonna be funny, I'm just gonna yell at them for a little bit. But yeah, what's up?
So, I guess the thing is, for people that are worried about how things are going, because right now we're seeing, I guess, the downfall of the judicial branch, as well as numerous infringements upon basic procedures and civility. Like, is it worth staying in this country? Or, like, because it feels very much like people are just waiting around for something bad to happen. And then by that point, it will be too late to do anything almost,
If anyone's in America, if you're not rich, and you can't run away, I mean, pretty much everyone right now, I'd probably say
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
need to all be pushing in the right direction here, because if America falls, the whole world's falling. If America falls, I'm not gonna lie, Europe's not gonna stand by itself. So we
sure.
need America to stop starting trade wars, and we need these leaders to stop pushing their authoritarian Christian nationalism, obviously, and to stop going after due process. And I would say right now all that matters in politics is influence. Okay, power and influence. That's all they respect. We are in a post-constitutional era. We need to restore it in a new, more apt way for what we're currently facing. So when we talk about messaging and what stories we propel to the front, the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case, the Trump admin tried so hard to say he's a MS-13 terrorist, wife beater, whatever. And the American people still saw through that, because they said, hey, I don't like it when the government says that guy's a terrorist and justifies killing him or sending him to a torture dungeon. So the polling against Trump for the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case is like 53% for bringing him back and giving him a court date, which is a day in court, which is bare minimum for our constitutional rights. And only 30% said don't bring him back. So on that issue, they lost. Now they're deporting U.S. citizen children, 2-year-olds. There's multiple kids with brain cancer, U.S. citizens with brain cancer, kids they have deported with no due process, no day in court. And for all the people that care about men's rights, I'm pretty sure like a U.S. citizen father had his U.S. citizen child ripped away from his arms and deported with the child's mother with no due process, no day in court. Also, arresting a middle-aged white woman from Wisconsin is a huge misstep as well. I could not think of a worse number of steps for them. Yeah, the judge, arresting the judge in Wisconsin, a middle-aged white woman. Okay, so they already could not talk about this guy who's from El Salvador with the tattoos to win public opinion. Now they're going after arresting judges. They're proving everything liberals said about them right. And now they're going even further, going after demographic categories. They're going to have a hard time deporting kids with cancer who are U.S. citizens, and attacking college students for their speech because they said something anti-Israel, and also justifying the DOJ right now. And by the way, if you guys are watching, please drop a like. I'll take adversarial calls after this question. I appreciate our current caller. Please drop a like on the stream, everyone. Thank you for watching. But yeah, and the DOJ saying that they can now break into anyone's home, violate the Fifth Amendment, Fourth Amendment, violate every freaking amendment. If they suspect there's an illegal in your home, they can knock down your door. The exact rights being eroded that the American people have stood so strong against, being eroded for such a long time, and all these conservatives sitting by justifying it. Like, oh, well, we need to give this guy ultimate power. But the real Americans are going to stand up, hopefully.
I mean, I do see a lot of the points you're saying with having a majority, for example, of 53% you mentioned with the Abrego Garcia case. It's just that number does seem awfully low, doesn't it? Because ideal, I mean, obviously we're far, far, far from ideal, but in a baseline reasonable world, that number should be around, 67%. And at this point, I think people are going to start losing focus as more and more things come through. This blitzkrieg.
Yeah,
assault
I
on
agree. I definitely agree with some of the issues right now. The biggest issue is where the military is and law enforcement and the people with the guns, honestly. They're
on that side. I mean, I've known a lot of
it depends how many people, because they could vote Trump and not be fully on the side of wanting to overturn American freedom. I think Pete Hegseth is helping us out, because Pete Hegseth is such a pathetic mess. I think he is hurting the idea that there's going to be a military-backed fascist coup of our government.
His entire skill set is drunk driving and beating his wife. So when he's out of his depth, he's out of his depth.
Well, aside from that, it's just like right now, Trump's tariffs have not fully hit. And we're going to have an economic recession for sure. We're going to have actual material shortages of a lack of items and materials in the U.S. in a few weeks. The shipping containers are empty. We're going to have a recession probably bigger than what COVID was. Maybe not. I mean, it depends what happens and how long
this is the death
Trump
of
does
America
this.
as the world standard, isn't it?
Yeah, and once we lose reserve currency, our bond market sucks, our dollar sucks, our trade sucks. Like, everything sucks right now for America. China controls the rare earth minerals, and Trump is shutting down Biden's CHIP Act. So yeah, we're going to suffer a huge economic turbulent time, economic turmoil. And that's also on top of the fact that we were supposed to have an economic depression already. We were going to have a recession soon already. A bunch of bubbles are ready to pop. More Americans are buying groceries on buy now, pay later plans than ever before. DoorDash now has a payment plan option.
It's already
so we have a huge bubble about to pop.
well.
and critical infrastructure like jobs like trucking is being laid off in mass right now, and all these issues are going to catch up, and it's not going to be, with Trump being out of office, Trump can say all the dumb shit in the world, right? Trump could be like, I'm going to end all the wars day one. Everything's going to be free. The cash is going to be for you. I'm giving $8,000 checks to you per day. He can make all these promises like a communist dipshit who doesn't understand how money works, okay? But now he's in office. So all these Trump supporters who are like, well, Trump is doing the diaper shit dance where he shits in his diaper and moves his arms up and down. Like, that is not going to be funny anymore when they lose their jobs. It's not going to be funny anymore when we have an actual like Great Recession Part 2. So it's like, that's gonna catch up, and hopefully, like,
stop at a recession.
No, it really depends on if they, it's gonna be bad.
Let me just preface this because, it's the year 2027, right? We have been antagonizing all of our friends and enemies alike. The only friends we have are Russia, Israel, and Saudi Arabia because we didn't stop doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's complicated globally. I would also say that we have it's very complicated. I'd say the rare earth minerals and the green energy. Okay, green energy, China's killing us. AI, China's killing every standard that we could possibly have. Other than, this is the final thing. I appreciate the call, but the final thing is America can only compete with China due to immigration. Immigration is the reason America is such a powerful country, and our military. Immigration provides us those workers that'll do the shitty jobs, which it always was like that. I'm from a white community that had a bunch of Polish and Italian and Irish and whatever immigrants to do the railroad jobs and iron working and steel working and whatever else. So like immigrants always do those jobs for lower pay in America for the base level manufacturing. Then we have like Mexico and Canada to help us out with our trade deals and our supply chains. Also, our researchers. We get the best researchers from all around the country, all around the world. All around the world, the best researchers want to come to America. Our funding we give to universities and wherever else to do this research for medical research, for example, is one of the reasons we can be so powerful as a country. And Trump is killing step by step every pillar that props America up on the global stage and making our biggest assets, which is our ability to command the globe and to lead the globe as the leader of freedom in the free world. Our ability to accept immigrants from a wide variety of cultures and multiculturalism. These are the strengths we've had to maintain a free country that can also still compete with countries like China. And Trump is killing all of it. So.
Yeah, well, I completely agree with your points, and thank you again for taking my call, and good luck with everything coming up.
All right, thank you too. Have a good one. Thank you for calling.
You too. Bye.
All right, I'll take another caller. Please drop a like and subscribe. I appreciate the calls. I opened up the call lines again. If you want to donate to the channel, you can donate to Jolah Politics on Venmo or Cash App. I'm gonna set a new goal for this stream, I guess, because we have a new goal because we hit it last night. Thank you guys again. You can become a channel member if you want to support the work I do for $3 a month on YouTube. Here we go. Stream goal 0 out of, we'll do 50. But yeah, Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Jolah Politics. Jolah Politics, JOLAHPOLITICS. There's a coffee link as well. You can see down there. If you type in that coffee link, if you donate there, it'll be a text to speech. Your message will be read out loud. Thank you for watching.
Call from.
Hi, what's up?
Hey man.
Yeah, you get one quick question, buddy. You get one good question, all right?
Okay. So, what do you think about Kamala Harris and how she was like laughing about immigration and stuff?
Kamala Harris laughed about a lot of things. I would say that she should have done better there to look serious in those moments. I'm not a big Kamala Harris fan, but also Trump is the reason immigration is not being fixed at all right now, because there was an actual plan in place to make immigration, legal and good. And Trump doesn't want to do plans. He just wants to yell a lot. So I mean, I don't love Kamala. There's not much I could really say about that kind of stuff. But yeah, just remember Trump is right now deporting U.S. citizens that have brain cancer. and violating rights to go into our homes to look for illegal immigrants. So he's putting Americans in danger, violating the Constitution. Even you could look up the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is very pro-Trump. The Supreme Court ruled 9-0 against Trump, that he's violating due process rights for Americans, the Fifth Amendment. But yeah, there's a lot of things to worry about. I don't think Kamala's laugh is the big thing there. But thank you for the call. Thank you for the question. I know you call in every night once to ask about Kamala, and I appreciate that you're still talking about Kamala Harris in the 2024 election, although that's been over for like 5 months now. But yeah, thank you. Have a good night. Okay, guys. Next caller. Thank you for calling, buddy. Okay. Who's this? All right, you can call again. Whoever's calling. Can't call it. Can't call it. I never came from deep pockets. All right, that person just called. I'll call you back. Oh, wait, that person. The same person? Oh, yeah, it is. Howdy.
Hello. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
All right, how about you? Sure thing. What's up?
Well, I mean, I really had my point of view is a lot different with the immigration system. I mean, with the situation with immigration, due to the fact that the amount of people they let in the country over the last 4 years was just so big that something major had to be done to kind of counteract that whole situation that got out of control.
My big question would be, if it's such a big issue, why are so many ICE agents going after college kids for their speech about Palestine and Israel? And also, why are they deporting like U.S. citizens that have brain cancer and kids with no lawyers present and no representation, making them represent themselves in court? And why are they going after nonviolent like visa overstays and visas for education and green card holders? Why are they spending so many resources doing thought policing and speech policing if there really is an issue with this like violent immigration? Why are all the resources not devoted there?
Okay, I get that 100% on how you feel that way, but the bottom line is America is about that Jew life. It is, no matter what. We're going to expect Israel. I don't know how they own us or whatever, how that works, but this is the USA, and we're going to be pro-Israel 100% to the end. So when you go here trying to dispute, I think they even made it illegal to talk about, like, anti-Semitism is like illegal, I think, almost when it comes to free speech. So when you go against that type of ideology that we do have as a nation, I mean, you're just going to get pushback. We ain't about that life. You don't talk about Israel over here. That's just the bottom line.
That seems like authoritarianism and a restriction of the First Amendment. It seems.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I do believe it's messed up because that's like the only people you can't really disrespect in America because it is illegal. I think it literally is illegal. There's like a bill or a law or something about it.
What do you think about what do you think about the Trump DOJ saying they can basically break and enter into anyone's home if they suspect there's an illegal immigrant in there with no warrant at all?
I don't know 100% if that's true because it has to be more than just a suspicion of you to be able to invade anybody's house because that's just like that's Fourth Amendment rights. You
well,
can't
that's
just
their
jump into
argument.
house
No, but that's the thing
huh?
though. That's why the Supreme Court is ruling 9-0 against Trump on the basis of the Fifth Amendment due process and also privacy.
No. You said something totally different. You're talking about jumping in somebody's house and invading their home because they have a suspicion of that, and that's totally different than what you're talking about.
I'm telling you the argument they're making in court right now. The argument the DOJ is making, the internal memos they're sending when they direct ICE agents to do unlawful things. So that's
what do you mean by
like
unlawful?
I said.
What do you mean by unlawful?
So, for example, you just said it's not lawful. It's a Fourth Amendment right. Okay, they are doing unlawful things by violating both breaking into people's homes and also, for example, violating due process. They've deported people on accident, sent people to the El Salvador prison on accident because they violated due process and did not give them a court date.
Are you talking about the one specific person that everybody's talking about over there in El Salvador?
No, there's dozens. There's dozens. There's dozens of innocent people that were sent.
I wouldn't doubt the due process of the investigation of the ICE gang member units that actually do investigation. They know better than anybody else who's in the gang and who's not because that's what they do for a living.
They've been found to lie a lot. We can't just do that. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just saying, you are saying we should trust the government without any standard for due process, any standard for evidence.
I'm talking about ICE agents talking about illegal gang members.
Yeah, but that's the issue, though. That's the issue, though.
And they're
sending
not even
people
American citizens, and they're not American citizens either.
But that's the issue. They're sending people who are not illegal gang members to torture dungeons in El Salvador because there's no due process.
Are they American citizens?
They're here
Absolutely
legally
not.
under
They're
like
from another
asylum
country. They
process.
probably have a deportation order, and they
So,
probably entered the country illegally under the Biden administration.
Do you think
can't deny that.
probably? Do you think I can deny that? Do you think probably is a good enough reason to send someone to death for the government to use state violence?
Again, if they know they're illegal, and the gang unit has
They don't know they're illegal. That's the issue, right? They don't know they're illegal without due process. They can pick up an American citizen, which they have.
Citizen. It's easy to show. Due process is if you have a birth
They
certificate
have
or not,
deported
or green card
American
or not.
citizens with no due process. They have done this already accidentally. They've detained American citizens for 10 days or 2 weeks without any
No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe that. I've never heard of any American citizen being detained for 2 weeks. American
Look up the
citizen got
cases.
detained
There
for
was
2
a
weeks
person
just
in
to find out if he
Arizona.
was a citizen?
Yeah, in Arizona for 10 days. In Florida, there was a case. In Georgia, there was a case. There's cases. You can look them up right now. And by the way, just in general,
those guys all have civil rights lawsuits coming because I'd be damned if American citizens should be detained for anything more than maybe 15 minutes to figure out if they're a citizen or not.
the point I'm saying is that ICE agents cannot be trusted with playing judge and executioner. Okay, just saying, hey, I accuse someone of this. I think they're a terrorist. I think they're an illegal alien. Therefore, I get to now ship them off somewhere with no verification process because they're violating multiple.
I agree with what you're saying.
There's
Let's come
a
to one
Supreme Court
agreement.
ruling
Do you think there's too many
9-0.
illegals in the? Do you believe there's too many illegal immigrants in the country today?
I believe our border policy was not sufficient for the big overflow after
So
COVID.
you
I
believe
don't know the actual
it was
numbers
definitely
today.
out of whack under the Biden administration and got totally out of control. We can agree on that, correct?
Yeah, but I would probably argue on what should have been done and what the
No,
reasons
well, let's
are.
just agree on one thing first, and then we can argue later. The Biden administration did such a horrific job under controlling the border that it literally got out of control.
The
where
issue
something had to be
is,
done.
but the issue is, you need to know what was wrong with the system before you just say that. Because right now you're saying that due process doesn't matter that much if you trust an ICE agent.
They did so many things that
But that's the thing, though.
helped the system to be effective to help them end. They
if you're
had a
gonna-
system that was actually relatively effective under the Trump EOs from before. They kept executive orders that they like the tariffs on China, but they got rid of the ones to secure the border, the remain in Mexico, the Title 40 something to keep them in there for the COVID. A whole bunch of rules they had to keep
the remain in
out of the country
Mexico.
that they completely removed.
Okay, so the
They
policies we
removed
would
some
need.
policies that helped them to.
Okay, someone else call. I'm not. The guy. Okay, so I'll tell you why I hung up on that guy. Okay, so number one, he said we could trust ICE agents, federal agents, to make any accusation, and we could trust them to deport someone or send them to a torture dungeon or to detain U.S. citizens or to bust down someone's door. He said if the ICE agent says so, if the feds say so, they have no standard of evidence. Due process is to make sure the government has a standard of evidence. It limits government power, so the government cannot just say you're a terrorist and kill you. Okay, that's why we need due process. It's the foundational piece of our rights in America. Our founding fathers wrote about this in the Constitution, in the Declaration of Independence. It was a key point of writing for our founding fathers, okay? So first off, saying I'll just trust federal agents, you are an authoritarian. You believe in no restrictions on government if it does what you want it to do for now. Because in the future, it's going to come down on you. And also, if he's just going to talk over me, there's nuance here. Immigration is very complicated. I can't talk about immigration policy with someone who's not going to let me respond to them. It's just impossible. Like, I'm not going to wait for him to let me speak in that entire conversation. Because what Trump is doing right now is killing our country. But that's another complicated layer to immigration. With our tourism down 30%, we're losing researchers, top researchers from other countries. Researchers are leaving America, fleeing to Europe and other countries. We're losing a lot of value here.
Call from.
Hello?
It's me.
What's up?
The first guy, hate that guy. One of the things he was talking about was how his family members are veterans. And they're not part of DEI programs. Therefore, there are no veterans in DEI programs.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll ask you and I'll ask the chat, how many people, if you really sat down like for as long as you could take, how many people do you think you could remember meeting and like getting to know? Like 100, 1,000, 10,000? If you have a detailed memory of meeting 1 million different people, that's 1/3% of the American population.
Everyone, stop doing it. Stop doing it, please. Read a Gallup poll. Use Google. Go on the Doge website. I don't know. That's
I don't
all
even
I have.
know. Like having that conversation, it just sucks because you have to obviously. I know. Like he's calling in to tell me DEI means that people, these dirty scumbag, black, trans, Muslim, queer, dumbass liberals, DEI, so they get jobs over us hardworking white conservative men. Okay, the white men in America are falling not because we don't go to college, not because we don't work hard, but because the DEI programs are giving it to whatever. And I say, oh, I benefit from DEI. He's like, oh, no, you didn't. Then it should be based on merit. It's like, well, no. Like I'm having the conversation of what the DEI programs were and equal opportunity employment. He's having a conversation. He thinks DEI is the N-word, and he's saying, why are you siding with the N-words, and why are you not letting a black, trans, whatever take your show? So I'm like, a conversation with him is just like value, like zero value at all. It's just painful.
Yeah. When he starts asking for the sources, it might be helpful to make him cite a single specific DEI policy. Because I haven't talked to anyone that's been able to point to like a specific on the books thing that companies do or that governments make different institutions do that's based in DEI principles, let alone something that's disagreeable. But anyway, I don't know. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'll let you get back to
thanks
it.
Thanks for the call. All right, see you. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Thank you. All right, next caller. Who said yo? Did someone say yo earlier? Enrique. I'm gonna see how many callers I can get in a row because I still have people calling right now, so I don't know if he'll be around later. But I want to make sure I get everyone through if they're calling into the direct channel, since I have the stream going pretty good right now. Appreciate it, man. Okay. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Going all right. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, living life.
Hell yeah. What's up?
Yeah, saw your stream, and yeah. I mean, reading the news right now has been like a surreal moment. Trump is like throwing people into like innocent concentration camps, what amounts to like a foreign concentration camp. And that's honestly the question, right? What's to stop Trump from sending me or you or anyone we care about into like oh wait, I'm kind of cutting out right now.
You're good. Yeah, thanks for the question. Since this is a friendly call, I'll just answer your question. I do appreciate you watching, appreciate the question. So, just the topic of Trump like sending citizens to foreign camps, it really is just the American people. They would do that, by the way. Like if the public would be okay with them jailing AOC, they would do it 100%, like instantly. But that would make their entire program fall apart. They don't have the political capital. That would be a revolution probably if they did that. So they cannot touch that. When they arrest judges, when they violate due process for U.S. Children, U.S. citizen children, when they just like shit on the Constitution, they keep on doing these to test how far they can go with it. It's like somewhat controlled, somewhat not controlled, probably mostly not controlled. But at every point they need extremely strong resistance. And I'd probably say right now for public opinion purposes, Trump's polling is at 44%, 40%. We need to do our best, as much as each of us can, to spread this messaging about like they're deporting 2-year-old American citizens, deporting American citizen kids with cancer. Like tell about the U.S. citizen father who had his daughter ripped away from him. No due process because ICE, because of Trump's brutal immigration policy, arresting people for saying things are anti-Palestine or anti-Israel. I mean, pro-Palestine, and violating due process and. Yeah, keep pounding home the influence,
yes.
Channing influence, because if Trump gets him, we need him in the 30s. We need him in the 30s by next month. because the economy is going to crash. I don't think people realize. They're like, oh, the rich people lose the money in the stock market. Yeah, when the stock market goes down, and I'm not someone that cares about the stock market all that much. I care about other things, obviously. But when it can be a sign of things to come, because it means all these assets are being frozen, these investments are being frozen. If there's no assets or investments being moved around, and there's no supply chains working, and China's restricting flow, and there's orders that are not being made, and trucking companies are laying people off. Once the supply chain breaks down, it's really hard to get it going again. That's what happened after COVID. So we already were maybe going to have a recession this year before Trump did this tariff thing when he single-handedly crashed the economy. His favorabilities are already at like 40% only. Like that's actually his lowest ever at this point, and any president's lowest at this point in the presidency, I'm pretty sure. So we have to keep on getting that favorability rating lower and lower and lower and lower until we hit the point where the only people supporting Trump are the insane people that are in cults.
Dude, it's the right to due process. I mean, like, for the past few months, our government has been pulling students off the street for crime of writing. I mean, for the crime of writing her own opinion in the newspaper. I mean, like, that's so crazy to me. Like, why?
Yeah, I mean, all the free speech people. Imagine if we locked up, if we took away Jordan Peterson's green card because he said because he wouldn't say pronouns. Imagine. I'd be against that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, thank you for the call.
Peace out, man.
All right, see you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, man. Thank you. Okay. Please drop a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Drop a like, subscribe. Also, the horizontal stream is open for the people that like horizontal. Whoever might be into that, whoever might be into that, it is open. Please consider donating to Jolah Politics. JOLAHPOLITICS. You can leave a message there for me as well. Jolah Politics on Cash App or Venmo or PayPal, or you can donate through Coffee or become a channel member or Super Chats. Thank you for watching. Here we go. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? Where's this guy at? Oh. Yo, this is Jolah Talks Politics on YouTube. What's up? That sucked. Boo!
Are you running for office or what?
Nah.
Why not?
Because I'm poor.
Oh man, it's that's a shame. Also,
it's not out of the. I mean, there's possibilities, but I might focus on becoming like a media, a more pointed media company, I guess, and doing interviews with candidates and making that more of an influence thing, and doing like targeted campaigns against candidates as well, and moving into Facebook. So I'm sort of researching like different political action committees and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see.
Do you think TikTok is dead, basically, or it's gonna be?
No, I think Trump has gotten millions and billions of dollars from Chinese investors and gifts through his cryptocurrency from China. He's not going to kill it. Hell no.
Okay.
And Trump actually, TikTok moved voters to the right wing more than any other social media app. Fun fact, even more than X.
Do you think the platform is still like for politics? Is it still viable, or is it getting too toxic? I don't know what it was like before.
Yeah. I mean, if you have conversations in 20-second clips, it's going to be toxic. I was able to grow on there a decent amount. I think I got 10,000 followers within like 4 months of doing it, 5 months of doing it, something like that. So I mean, it's still an avenue we need to be in.
I've been meaning to ask you, have you ever done any of the? I know you've done the lives there, obviously, but have you ever done lives with panels? And have you ever seen some of like the Democrat or liberals that are on there doing that kind of stuff? The ones that are like more popular, I think what was it called? The Un-F America tour.
Yeah, the Parker and Dean.
Were you into that at all, or privy to that, or no?
I like what they're doing, but I mean, when it comes to arguing for left wing or liberal values, I don't know if they're the best. I think Dean's okay, but the rest of those guys are very into the stereotype of like, you said a slur. Like I don't know. They just don't really.
So
They're gonna probably hurt the vote when it comes to white men, if anything. And I don't know if they're.
yeah,
I don't know. I appreciate them for what they're doing for sure, but hopefully, I hope I'm wrong. But
I got what they were doing because at first I didn't realize when they said the slur stuff is because there's TikTok language that if you say certain things, you're gonna get the live drop.
yeah,
I
I
didn't
know
know that was
that.
a thing. Yeah, I didn't
I
know.
know that too, but there's also conversations where they like they talk about things in a way that's very I don't know. When they
No, you're right.
When Harry Sisson had the thing with the girl, the way they talked about that like it was the end of the world was I mean it's not good. It's not good necessarily, but it's also not, he's not a violent criminal. He didn't do anything like that.
No, he's a kid that's
he's
just
a shitty college kid.
game.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Like
you shouldn't do that. Don't do that. But it's also not a reason to say someone's the devil. But
yeah, I was interested in seeing a bunch of them. They said they were going there to debate Charlie Kirk, and I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I want to see how that goes, right? And then they didn't set up an event. They went there under the idea that they were just gonna like confront him and do it that way. I was like, what? Okay. And they made it seem like they had an event they were going to have with him.
1 second. By the way, people watching the stream, I'm actually going to reset the stream to my halftime that I usually do. An hour into the stream because I'm getting tired already. But it's going to be halftime. I'm going to go for another like 2 hours till midnight probably. If you want to call into the stream, you can still call in. I'm going to reset the YouTube Shorts stream on my channel. I have 2 streams going. I have the YouTube Shorts and I have the YouTube Horizontal. The Horizontal is just the full screen where there's like 20 people or 30 people if you want a more chill experience to watch. But I'm going to redirect you to the Horizontal one and make a new YouTube Shorts. So thank you for bearing with me, but I'll be right back on YouTube Shorts if you're watching. Thank y'all. You can call in, like I said, in 2 minutes after I'm done shooting the shit. All right. All right. What's your, do you watch this